Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Karim Albayar, and I'm the Program Coordinator for the Connecting Business Initiative, or CBI. We're a joint project of the United Nations Development Program, or UNDP, and the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, or OCHA. I'm very happy to be here as part of this short segment during the ARISE Forum for the Americas and the Caribbean to share a little bit about how CBI works to support the private sector and business networks working hand in hand with the government, United Nations, and humanitarian and development partners to enhance the capacity of local businesses in disaster and climate resilience. 2 weeks ago, the world celebrated the International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction, or DRR Day. The theme this year highlighted the need for international cooperation and partnerships for us to reduce disaster risks and losses. This is more evident now because we have seen that disasters never stop, even during a pandemic. With the previous earthquake in Haiti and Hurricane Iota, which devastated communities in Central America late last year, we are seeing how a protracted crisis like the pandemic makes the most affected people even more vulnerable to climate-driven disasters and other types of natural disasters. However, while COVID-19 has made disaster risk reduction and management more challenging, it has also paved the way for us to rethink our strategies and approaches, given how the pandemic affected so many people and livelihoods. Now more than ever, we feel the need to invest in a holistic way of viewing disaster risks as we continue to strengthen our commitment to the 2030 Agenda, integrating disaster and climate risk into all levels of development programming. This is to ensure that we address the underlying drivers of vulnerability for the world's most affected people. Now, with their unique capacities, resources, and networks, private sector actors can play a critical role in ensuring that individuals and communities are resilient and able to recover from shocks. COVID-19 has also shown us that we need a whole of society approach in dealing with complex disasters. And we believe that businesses play an important role in promoting risk-informed development to address vulnerabilities that can be further aggravated by disaster events. The private sector is an important partner in disaster and climate resilience. With their unique capacities, resources, and networks, the business community can work with the government and humanitarian and development partners to ensure that communities and livelihoods are more disaster and climate resilient. They can, for example, contribute through skills, expertise, experience, services, and solutions, advocate for better disaster risk reduction, preparedness, response, and recovery, and ensure that their employees' business processes and value chains are resilient. At CBI, we believe that the private sector can and will be a valuable partner in disaster risk reduction and management, and in the project of nation building as a whole. Now, promoting and strengthening the role of private sector networks in disaster risk management was the reason why the Connecting Business Initiative was born. Launched in 2016 during the World Humanitarian Summit, CBI enhances the capacity of local private sector networks to prepare for, respond to, and recover from disasters. CBI works by focusing on the collective private sector action and engaging local actors, such as national chambers of commerce and industry associations. We support coordinated disaster risk management throughout the preparedness, response, and recovery phases. And this also means advocating for the role of the private sector in existing coordination structures and mechanisms, and in enhancing local capacity of business networks when it comes to disaster risk management. Last but not least, CBI is committed to strengthening the resilience of businesses and societies themselves, for example, by promoting and supporting the development of business continuity plans. Currently, CBI has 11 member networks around the world. You see them on the screen in front of you. These member networks represent about 4,100 core company members. And because some of these networks are also parts of their national chambers of commerce or industry federations, they also provide access to more than 40,000 micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, or MSMEs. In the past 5 years, CBI member networks have helped more than 17 million people through crisis preparedness, response, and recovery. And together with their partners, CBI member networks have raised more than $50 million for disaster response and crisis support. While many of our member networks are in Asia and the Pacific region, we are currently doing a scoping study to help us work with new business networks in Latin America. And we would very much be interested in hearing from any of you if you would like to join CBI or learn more about CBI. That said, we have two of our most important and strong networks already in Latin America and the Caribbean and Mexico and in Haiti. We believe that CBI is best described through the amazing work that our networks do in partnership with their governments, the UN, and other humanitarian and development agencies. And so, if you will, allow me to please share with you a few examples of how CBI member networks partner with governments and others to support local businesses. In Haiti, following the 7.2 magnitude earthquake in August, our member network, the Alliance for Risk Management and Business Continuity, or AJERCA, helped share information on private sector response efforts with the government and UN agencies. They also launched a campaign to promote local products by Haitian companies and supported the distribution of goods and services across the disaster-hit area. AJERCA is also the private sector focal point in Haiti's National Emergency Operations Center, and so they play that important role as part of the official government response to any emergency. In Sri Lanka, one of our members, the Asia-Pacific Alliance on Disaster Management Sri Lanka, or APAD-SL, supported the local production and distribution of personal protective equipment for national needs and for export, and organized preparedness campaigns before the most recent monsoon season. APAD Sri Lanka is also quite active in promoting civil-military collaboration through training activities, including for swift water and urban rescues in case of floods. It's a very interesting model. They have private sector companies supporting the government in training search and rescue teams that respond in floods. In the Philippines, the Philippine Disaster Resilience Foundation, or PDRF, along with UNDP and OCHA, has built an online business recovery hub called CCAP to assist micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises with business continuity and recovery. That online hub consolidates information on livelihood assistance programs. PDRF is also a member of the UN Humanitarian Country Team. I believe they may be one of the only examples of a private sector network being a part of the humanitarian structure, but it's the kind of thing that we'd like to promote more and more of around the world. Finally, in Vanuatu, following Tropical Cyclone Harold, our member network, the Vanuatu Business Resilience Council, or VBRC, worked with Oxfam on a blockchain cash transfer project that provided affected families with vouchers that they could use to pay for goods and services from local businesses. VBRC is also a member of the Vanuatu National Disaster Management Authority and part of the National Logistics Cluster. I would be remiss if I didn't mention our member network in Mexico, SENASED, who along with OCHA, UNDP, and national partners is deeply involved in disaster response in Mexico and recently launched an online platform to enable better coordination of COVID-19 response efforts among companies and between companies and other sectors of society. These examples from our member networks show how the private sector can play an important role when it comes to disaster risk reduction, preparedness, crisis coordination, and recovery. CBI operates as a global broker of expertise that helps to connect and convene humanitarian, development, public and private sector actors at global, regional, and national levels. One of the ways we do this is through different specialized areas or work streams, which focus on climate risk management, small and medium enterprise business continuity and resilience, impact measurement, and conflict and fragility. We'd like to invite you to get in touch with us should you be interested in partnering with us in any of these work streams or in any of the work that CBI does. Finally, we hope that today this forum is an opportunity for all of us to be more inspired to support local businesses, to promote collective private sector action in disaster and climate resilience. So thank you very much for joining me today. And please do reach out to the Connecting Business Initiative for more information on how we can work together in supporting private sector networks before, during, and after crises. Our website is www.connectingbusiness.org. You can also reach us at connectingbusiness@un.org. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of the forum. Thank you very much.